Alright, this is going to be the first chop with the new machete made by HX Outdoors. This is D2 steel. So this machete has a semi-sharp top section. They claim it's meant for hitting like harder stuff, I guess if you don't want to dull out your main blade. And then it also has a thinner section here that's more of a flat grind. And not sure what kind of grind this is, but it's obviously lower and thicker. It's either a flat or a hollow. I would have to check it. This is definitely flat all the way up, and for like, you know, finer tasks, any type of woodworking maybe. You're making fine cuts in wood, pulling off, making, you know, stuff for bush craft, whittling that wood. But this is hard, whatever this is. So I'm gonna hit it with the back here. Let's see what it does. Absolutely nothing. Like I say, even though this is broke up top, this wood seems hard. So I'm not sure what happened to this tree. Apparently it broke, but let's go ahead and put some chops on it. I have to do this with my left hand, like this. Just a little awkward to get up under it. Okay guys, that's some hardwood I'm not going to keep. That's with the back side of it. This wood's super hard though. If you had to, you could take it out, but there's no need for me to sit here and dull out my blade. Let's go cut some pieces of firewood and stuff. So, clearing out brush. Not really. I feel like these are just gonna swing back and hit you in the face. It's not long enough to do any brush clearing, unless you're chopping a few branches kind of off of something that are sticking out on the trail or something. But to actually think you're gonna make a trail with this, no. It would need to be 2.5 times longer to work as that. Really didn't even cut anything. It just kind of snapped it with brute force. So I'm trying to kind of figure out what this thing's exactly for. Yeah, so if you want a machete, get a real machete. This is more like a chopper. Possibly, I don't want to call it a fighting tool, but I mean, I just got to get my face so close to these branches to even hit them. You can see the cuts. Not super clean. I think the one that just popped off is probably even a dead branch. So not a clearing machete for sure. And so far, I haven't noticed it to be a very good chopper, which is surprising. Now this is the factory edge, and I meant to bring my sharpening stone. I grabbed it, put it with my stuff, and somehow I can't find it. So somehow it didn't make it to camp. Not exactly sure how that happened, but I'm gonna keep collecting some firewood, get it to camp, and then we'll check out this and a couple of the other knives, see how they're gonna chop up my firewood. Alright, this little survival machete came with a fire starter and a little compass built into it, and it slides into the sheath. There's my camp up at, you can see my tent in there. Before I get too far away, I'm gonna check which direction camp's in. Hold this thing as flat as possible, get it to where you think it's good, and it's showing north. Gotta turn a couple other ways just to test my compass. Saying north is that way. Turn all the way around. And it's telling me north is behind me, towards camp. Alright, so now I know my camp's going north. And there's a road if you keep going that way. So I'd hit the road even if I went north. Alright, so I'm going to check that before I continue on through the woods and get turned around. Alright, I'm going to chuck this log right here. While I'm doing it, let's compare. And this isn't very hard. This isn't as hard as that last. Even though it's a little thicker, it's not as hard as that. These pieces of wood. It's been down for a lot longer. Okay. Let's see what this knife has. I have not chopped anything with this knife. I don't even think I've cut anything with it. Brought it out here to test it. I did stab it into the tree once or twice. Let's see what kind of a survival tactical style knife. Okay. Right away, I don't feel like it compares. Give it a fair chance and it'll do it. Right, like the woodpecker. Just keep at it, it'll do it, but probably want to put a little more force into it. But it feels, and this is a heavy knife. This is almost 9 ounces. This is 9 ounces. It's a little bit handle heavy. It kind of feels like a joke. Okay. Okay, now I feel like I'm getting somewhere. So, definitely liking this thing. Right, guys, but starting on a new piece, I mean, look at that. Even if it was to whack it hard, almost nothing's happening. Okay? Let me grab my other knife. It's right here. This one's really light, way lighter than this one. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke, guys. Now this thing, it just has the weight to get down it in there, even if it's not as sharp. It just has that extra velocity or extra weight going down on it. It just starts chipping into it. Even when I'm not hitting it hard. I think proving to myself that I definitely need a chopper if you want to chop some real wood. I was looking at the off-grid XXL and almost ordered it with this knife. And maybe I still will in the future, but this thing is definitely doing what I got it for. Go around to this other side, get that area real quick. Very little effort. Alright, there's no way this thing's not ready to break. Okay, let's check it. There we go. Alright, just for fun, I'm going to show you throwing this decent sized little small machete. Depending on the length of the knife, it's going to determine how far away you need to be from the target. And to get that, sometimes you got to throw it and watch how the blade hits and take a step back or take a step forward. Alright, let's throw a couple. Alright guys, I'm not the best knife thrower. Just real quick, I stuck this maybe 6 times out of 10. Bounced it off maybe 4 times just now. And probably the same amount earlier. When I first started throwing it, I bounced it off several trees. It's holding up pretty good. I really like rubber handles. I know some people, for some odd reason, say negative stuff about them or they don't know about them. Well, I do know about them. And they're extremely tough and durable if made correctly, and I love the way they feel in my hand, and I gravitate towards rubber handle knives. As soon as I hear it's a rubber handle, it piques my interest. Alright, let's go one more. I'll throw this one pretty hard. For some reason it didn't stick, but anyways, that's a pretty solid tip, and I don't think you're gonna have a problem doing stuff like that. This thing has a temperature gauge on the back of it. Compass, fire starter, temperature gauge. Hard to read. And it's in Celsius, so figure that one out. Anyways, I don't think I've ever used one of these to actually start a fire. I mean, I've thrown sparks off one for a couple times for the fun of it, but I don't think I've ever actually started a fire. I've seen a couple people do it, on YouTube, and they normally like sitting there shaving down little pieces of wood, which you might have to do depending on, you know, the area that you're in. My area, I got a bunch of dry pine needles. I haven't even tried it. That's the first time I've swiped this thing. I don't even know. I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. Uh-oh. Looks like we got some, dudes. Well, that was easy. And there you go. I was throwing pieces of this off. It was staying sparked down there and like making all sorts of noises. Like I had a sparkler in my hands. Pretty cool. There you go. Alright. So what is it? HX Outdoors small machete. I do like it. Thrown this thing at a tree probably 30 times or more. Maybe even 40 or 50. Not too much damage or anything done to the handle. Handle looks perfectly fine. Tip looks about like it was when I got it. And it's chopped anything I needed to chop with it pretty much. You saw the test with the other knives I brought. They were no comparison for how this is going to chop through thicker pieces of wood. I thought it would chop better, but I was actually a little surprised on how much better this thing chopped, even compared to the 9-ounce or a little over 9-ounce knife that I brought, the other one. Sheath's cool. I didn't even care to put the other little buckle thing around it because it slides in pretty well. Doesn't click in, but it holds more than most click-ins do. That's just this rattling. But it doesn't make any noise while you walk, really. The thing is not slipping out of there. But you can put this around it as well. I just don't have to keep unbuttoning that every time I wanted to pull it. And I would even just set it in there like that a lot of the time because I didn't want to have too much force to get it out. If you really want it in there, you just slide it down into place. Comes with this little string on here. Compass works good. I actually was maybe 200 yards out in the woods back here gathering wood earlier, and I got turned around a little bit. I'm not saying I couldn't have made it out. I could have, but I used this and it pointed me directly back to my campsite. So worked pretty good. Alright guys, well that's the HK Outdoors machete, and I'm giving it a thumbs up, even though it bit me.